Hello everybody, this is the Daydreamer with Daydreams and Nightmares, and this is my video entry into the TheChinest's 100 subscriber contest. I want to start out by saying congratulations on making it to 100. It's a very important milestone to get to that point with your channel, and it's an achievement that's worth being congratulated on. For his contest, which I will leave down in the description down below, he is asking you to do one of two things, and I thought I would do both. And also, before I get started, yes, I'm in this silly hat and that. Still during the holidays. I'm filming this on Christmas Eve. So I just got done watching the Packer game and figured it was nice green and red colors for the holiday as well. But anyway, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. Now, the two things he was asking was, what was the first comic book that you ever got that got you into comic books? And if you don't have it or you don't remember it, and you have a story that is, well, how about this? I have a story that's very similar to his in respect that I have been out of comic books for quite a long time. I think the last comic book that I had purchased before the most recent ones that I have bought were back in the mid-90s. Life suddenly got in the way after getting out of high school and getting out of college and needing to pay the bills and start getting into my adult life. I just didn't have the money to spend on the comic books. And so there was a big, huge gap in there. And then this last year, I had started watching some YouTube channels out there that were talking about current comic books and things that were going on in the comic book world, and got me interested. And I had actually specifically seen one person review the comic book that I'm going to show you, and actually went out and purchased it, and that would probably have been my first new purchase in a very, very long time. Anyway, I recently shot a video for Popcom, who's also holding a contest, 100 Amazing Contest, which I believe is still going on. Go check that out as well. I would say I put it down below, but I just made a video for that as well, so you can check out that video. The link is on that video as well. Check out his giveaway as well. And one of the many questions that he was asking was about what was your first comic book. And I'm happy to share the story again as well. This is probably one of the oldest things that I own here. It's not a comic book, but it is. I was 7 years old in 1977 when Star Wars came out, and I loved to read books. And so I had gotten the storybook, and I've read it hundreds of times. It's gotten a lot of use and abuse over the years. But this was my gateway into comic books. After reading this so many times, and I had actually bought this the following year when I was 8 years old. I had seen this as well. This is Star Wars number 14. And the cover has all of the characters from the original Star Wars: Leia, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, Chewbacca, all the characters from the original movie. And that's one of the things that caught my eye with this comic book as well, and why I wanted to get my hands on it. And like I said, once again, I wasn't a collector at the time. I was a 8-year-old with his hands on a comic book, and there's creases. I see at least 2 or 3 creases through here. The corners aren't in very good shape. There's a lot of spine breaks and that in here. It's not a high quality comic book as far as trade value is concerned, but I've held on to this in my entire life, and it's not something I'm going to part with. It's one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, and still is, and I'm planning on going, actually tomorrow, I'm going to go see Rogue One, and I'm hoping, like I said, it took place just before this movie. The storyline did anyway, so I'm looking very forward to watching that as well. Now, I have mentioned in a number of my videos, and I've shown this book off a few times. This is a trade paperback, Neil Gaiman's Preludes and Nocturnes, which is the first grouping of books by Neil Gaiman and Sam Keith, Mike Drinkenberg, and Malcolm Jones III. I believe it is the first 10 books. Yeah, first 10 books in the Sandman series. And it was before, yeah, just before it switches over into Dollhouse. Anyway, I'm a big, huge Neil Gaiman Sandman fan. When I actually started getting into reading the comic books as a collector and collecting comic books, I was looking for a comic book with a really good story as well, because my love for reading. And I wasn't interested in getting and collecting a bunch of superhero comic books. I wanted something that had some meat to it, that actually had stories and the artistry in this as well, with the artist on the inside, and Dave McKean that did all the cover art for all of these books, really intrigued me and got me into collecting comic books. It was the whole adult, mature comic book line of DC Vertigo, with Sandman, Swamp Thing, Animal Man, Hellraiser, or Hellblazer, sorry, with John Constantine, that got me into comic books. So over the years, I've managed to sell off I would say about half of my comic book collection. And one of the things that appears to have gone with my collection is the books that are actually a part of this. I've discovered I only have 9 and 10 from this. I don't have 1 through 8, which are going to be on my list of wants to try to pick up. But anyway, I wanted to reread the stories, didn't have them in this form, and I saw another YouTuber actually do a review on this trade paperback, and I told myself I needed to go pick this up so I could read it again. But this was, like I said, the very first book, comic book, even though it's a trade paperback, that I had actually bought in nearly 15, 20 years. Like I said, I don't remember the last one I bought. It would have been around 96, 98, in that neighborhood. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Go check out TheChinest's channel and his contest. I will once again leave the description down below. Everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. Thank you.